Our second non-standard expression from word set 82 is Sandra is more taller than Tina and she is more and more beautiful than her. When you look at this expression very closely, you will discover that more taller as well as more and more beautiful have been underlined to indicate verbosity as well as a lexical error with the expression. Therefore, the error type to which the expression can be classified is verbosity or lexical error. We say that the expression is verbose because too many words than necessary have been used in it. For example, where we have more and more beautiful, things like that, more and more. So there's a repetition, and also there is a case of using too many words than needed in it. Then we are going to say that the expression has a lexical error because more has been used with this second degree comparative adjective taller. Now, what we can infer from this expression is that the speaker is trying to emphasize the beauty of Sandra as well as the height of Sandra above the height of Tina and the beauty of Tina. So there is a case of emphasis and distinction. However, the words have been wrongly used. Before we now talk about the standard way to pick up these words or to use these words, let us discuss the grammar tips. For the first one, we have here that the expression is a second degree comparative. And what is a second degree comparative? It is used to express inequality or a clear difference between two persons or two items. So this fellow or the speaker here is trying to express a clear distinction between the height of Sandra and the height of Tina, as well as the beauty of Sandra and the beauty of Tina. So in a case of second degree comparative, we cannot use more with taller. At ordinary level English, we do explain that this word more cannot be used with an adjective with ER. But with a detailed explanation, I would like you to know today that when you want to express a clear distinction between two items, we have three levels of comparison of adjectives: positive, comparative, and superlative. At positive level, you are describing just one item, and at comparative level, you are describing two items or two persons. And then at superlative level, you are describing three items or three persons. But when you want to express a clear distinction between two items or two persons, or give a detailed and qualitative description or analysis or inequality between those two persons or two items, you would have to move to a higher form of comparative description. And that is what we call second degree comparative. Like we have explained here, it is used to express inequality or a clear distinction. Now, it is very simple. When you want to get to that level of usage, you must understand that much may be used with an adjective with ER. An adjective that already has ER, that is a monosyllabic adjective. You know, at comparative level, you simply add ER, and at superlative level, you add EST. So at comparative level, which is what we need here, because it is still two items that are being described in this expression, you are going to use much with the adjective to express second degree comparative description. But if the adjective is disyllabic or trisyllabic or polysyllabic, then, you know, in that case, at comparative level, you are going to have more. If it's pretty, you have more pretty, or you can also have pretty, of course. Since it's disyllabic, it can take ER or it takes more. Then, in this case, if it is trisyllabic, like difficult, say more difficult, then to express the second degree comparative, you are going to attach much to it. So you're going to say the comparative level of the word is going to be more difficult. And if you want to express a clear difference in your comparative description, then you attach much to it and say, this work is not just more difficult than that, but it is much more difficult than that. So that is how we can use comparative or second degree comparative adjective. So back to our expression, the standard form or the standard way that we can use this expression could be things like Sandra is much taller than Tina and she is much more beautiful than her too. Remember, two must be employed in this expression because the expression already has two moving parts. Sandra is more taller than Tina and she is more beautiful. So two things are already happening in this same expression. So you cannot just drop it without employing this descriptive word, which is to. You can have something like also or as well. They are all adjectives. So instead of saying Sandra is more taller than Tina and she's more and more beautiful than her, you could say Sandra is much taller than Tina and she's much more beautiful than her too, just like we have explained here. Remember, like we discussed under word set 81, that when you use than, then subject personal pronoun shouldn't be used here. Like in a case where someone is going to say something like, Sandra is much taller than Tina and she is much more beautiful than she. That will not be acceptable as explained under word set 81. So instead of saying Sandra is more taller than Tina and she is more and more beautiful than her, you could say Sandra is much taller than Tina and she's much more beautiful than her too. So this is how we can talk about this expression in everyday usage. Now let's go over our next word set, 83, which is she is the best of the two.